All right, it's Double T from 96.7 The Eagle. And one of my favorite memories when I first got to town was going to Rockford Lightning games. I'm sporting the shirt right now. And I've got former Rockford Lightning head coach Chris Daleo, a good friend of mine, one of my favorite people here in Rockford, hanging out. And I want to talk a little bit about the history of the Rockford Lightning. You know, back in the day, it was really a big thing here in town, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It was the thing to do.
Right.
You know, and not, you know, when you have the winningest coach in Rockford Lightning history patrolling your sidelines,
right.
You know, a lot of people really came out because we provided a great product. Dancing was great, players were great, winning. We won a ton of games. And the atmosphere was good, so yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well,
loved it.
Let's go back to the beginning. Give a little background, a little history of the beginning of the Rockford Lightning.
Well, it originally was the Lancaster Red Roses
out
in Lancaster, New York. And then it came to Rockford and was owned by a group of owners.
Okay.
And as the years went on, Wayne Tempe of Wayne Tempe LKG Enterprises bought out all the rest of the owners, so he was the sole owner. And he was the sole owner for many years, and he was my owner when I was a head coach for 5.
Okay, so I know there was a part of the history where former NBA superstar Isaiah Thomas came in and he bought the league and took over. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, you know, actually, the funny story is, I was actually, when I was an assistant under Wayne, Isaiah Thomas bought out the league.
Okay.
And he fired everybody.
Okay.
And actually, Wayne had hired me to be head coach for one day, and then Isaiah Thomas bought the league and he fired me.
Okay.
And so, and that led to the end of the CBA. There was a butting of heads with David Stern. The CBA had a great relationship with the NBA and David Stern. They gave us money. We worked the referees. We had free call-up systems with players. When Isaiah Thomas came in, it all went to garbage.
Okay.
You know, to use a better, you know,
right.
It was all a mess. And then bankrupted the league. He tried to sell the league to David Stern for he didn't. There was no takers, and the original owners then bought the league back. And when Wayne Tempe bought back the Lightning, I think it was for $1, he hired me. And away we went. And
did you give him 50 cents to split it? Or
no, but I did take him out to dinner. You better believe it. But that was the greatest time of my life.
Right.
No doubt. The best 5 years of basketball. I mean, the great players, a great atmosphere. I could have stayed with the Rockford Lightning as their head coach for the rest of my life. I loved it.
Talk about the level of CBA. So where, you know, you got the NBA obviously on top. Where did the CBA sit compared to the NBA?
The CBA was right underneath it. So when you had, now it's the NBA D League.
Okay.
But, you know, when players when you were short on injuries or you develop players down the CBA, they had a free-flowing system to be called up to any club. So we would be calling, there'd be players that would leave you to go up to the NBA, come back, and sometimes at bad times for us, we're going to the playoffs and whatnot, we might lose a player to the NBA.
Okay.
But there was just a free-flowing stuff. Yeah.
All right, talk about some of the players that played here in Rockford that you remember and really stand out for the fans.
Well, Norm Van Leer was a great Chicago Bull. He was the first coach.
Oh, he was the first coach. Okay.
Yeah, here in Rockford.
So what happened to him?
He got in a fight in the locker room, I think, with a journalist, and punched a journalist, and that ended his.
That would probably do it. Yeah,
that was tough. But he was actually. We've had great history with all that. During my time, certainly Ronnie Fields is probably the #1 Rockford Lightning player of all time.
Okay.
But I've had great, and I still keep in contact with them to this day. Stace Bozeman and Tay Dupay and David Harrison and Liven Pryfum and the list goes on and on. Sidney Holmes, Jonathan Jones. I just had great players that played for me year after year after year because they loved the town, they loved the atmosphere, and like I said, we won ball games, and that was the whole point of it. We were just winning ball games. Taking names. It was great. And it was greatest times.
I think one of the other things I really enjoyed about going to Rockford Lightning games, obviously the game is part of it, but everything that went along with, like the promotions and the Lightning girls.
We had a hot ass dance team. No doubt about it.
What are some of the memories you have of the other things besides the game?
I tell you, one time we had, they always handed out those little yellow basketballs.
Okay, yeah.
And it was great because they'd hand those out. It was Midas Muffler and Break or somebody like that would sponsor the balls, and they'd hand them all out, maybe 1,000. And the people that sat behind the visiting team would always, at some point in the game, pelt the opposing team with the little balls. It was fantastic. So the opposing coaches always had to put a clipboard back behind them because they're getting pelted with basketballs.
Right.
You know, that was a lot of fun. But it was always something going on. And that's what made Lightning games so good. During timeouts, during halftime, whether it be the Minnesota Timberwolves mascot coming in or our Lightning girls going on, or a quick change, the person that changed, that's all that stuff.
Right.
It was always all. I remember one time I called a timeout because our dance team just did a new routine.
Okay.
And I'm like, we don't have to just watch this great ass routine right now. We just watched routine and boom, we went back and kicked some butt. So
that's
that was
awesome.
good.
I remember, you would give players opportunities, which was really cool. And I remember you giving a kid that was in Rockford, Illinois, 5'10", went to Illinois State, an opportunity to run out on the court and be introduced. You gave me a chance. It was one of my favorite moments in radio. Is I got to be introduced with the Lightning one night as part of the team, and that was really cool. Thank you for that opportunity.
Well, you deserved it because you were a stud back in the day.
Right. What happened?
But,
I know.
But the big thing is we tried to make it fun.
Right.
It was serious and you had to play. But I think the big thing in Rockford, we had such a great front office staff, and we took it with a grain of salt that yes, it's professional basketball, but we wanted to have some fun too, and make it more of a circus type atmosphere in a wide variety of ways.
Right.
Win our games, take care of our stuff, take care of our business, but also have fun doing it. And that's one reason why I really enjoy going to work every day. Because what crazy cockamamie things can we do now?
Right. Oh yeah.
To make it even that much more of a fun atmosphere.
And you look at it like this shirt right here. This came from Rockford Art Deli, and one of their top sellers. What do you think about that today? So many years later, one of the top selling shirts, Rockford Art Deli.
Oh, it's awesome.
Rockford Lightning
People
shirt.
still call me coach to this day.
Right.
And it still is lingering in people's minds. The Rockford Lightning. Hey, coach, what's going on? Hey, Chris Daleo, what's going on?
Right.
And that makes you feel really good.
Awesome.
That we made an impact in the community and still goes on to this day.
Right.
And
it's funny when you run into people like, I had season tickets back in the day and stuff. There's a lot of people that did.
There was.
Yeah.
People can. I know our Tuesday nights weren't always good.
Right.
But
I guess Friday,
But
Saturday
our Friday
night.
and Saturday night was rocking and rolling. And certainly with our great attenders programs and other programs, community programs that we did,
Right.
that was always big.
I mean, Tina talked about reading books in school so she could get tickets.
None of my players could do it, but but as a whole, that was another thing. Yeah, we just did stuff like that. We were big with our community involvement, and it showed, and really it was part of people's lives.
Well,
and they still talk about it to this day, and that's what's cool.
Thanks a lot for coming in. Great seeing you again.
It's great seeing you.
He's going to Thailand coming up, so follow him on Facebook, right?
Yeah,
Chris Daleo?
Thailand Basketball League. I'm pumped. You better believe it.
Chris Daleo, former Rockford Lightning head coach. Thanks a lot for joining me, Coach.
Thanks, man.